Hi, I'm Katie Moten and I'm with Colletta Street Capital, and we are a note investing firm, or in other words, we invest in defaulted mortgages. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about Nutella. How many of you love Nutella? I do. Well, today, if you don't, you should. Or maybe it's a good thing you don't love it. Today is World Nutella Day, and you might be saying, why are you telling us about World Nutella Day? Well, I did some research. I don't know if any of you follow us on Instagram. You'll see different national holidays that we try to kind of mesh with investing or note investing. And one of them that I found was Nutella Day. And if you've ever gone to the website, it then tells you the history and everything like that and gives you links. So I started reading about the history and I started clicking on links, and I started learning about the story behind Nutella and the people behind Nutella, and how progressive and unconventional these people are and the company that produces Nutella. And as I learned more and more, I found this amazing quote, and it's actually the mantra of the Ferrero chocolate company. If you guys know and have had any of these chocolates before, it's produced by the same people in Italy. And so Pietro Ferrero, he was actually a baker, and after World War II, chocolate was very scarce, but there was plenty of hazelnuts. So he decided to make this paste out of a whole bunch of crushed up hazelnuts, and he added just a little bit of chocolate into there, and people went crazy for it. And then his son started playing around with it and figured out how to make it this creamy, yummy Nutella that we all enjoy to smear all over whatever we want to smear it on. And through him trying over and over again and trying something different than what other Hershey's chocolate and other chocolate companies were producing at the time. And then what makes them unconventional also is that, like, to produce this, they were ready to send it to the factory to have it produced and start selling it. But they decided to wait several years for them to really make sure that every part of that little cookie chocolate wafer bar is perfect. And so they took 2 more years before they released it to the public. And in their company themselves, they've structured it so that they can continue to pay their employees a really good salary even when times are tough. So I love this quote: always do something different from the others. And it's one of Pietro Ferrero's mantras for the company. And even investors who invest in that company know that mantra. And they expect for this company to do differently than their other people that are out there. So you're probably saying, okay, so how does this relate to Colletta Street? How does this relate to us as an investor, or us as a note investor? So my question is, what are you doing differently in your niche? Whatever your niche is, if your niche is investing in real estate, or if your niche is investing with your IRA, what are you doing differently to create more wealth, to create that cash flow? What are you doing differently to be successful? Because we know this company is very successful, yet they do things so differently and different from the other companies that produce chocolate. So I guess Colletta Street's question to you is, what are you doing differently? But we're also asking ourselves this question. And it was really funny because last week, I was listening to Scott Carson on Friday, and we've been pondering this question about the Nutella and what are you doing differently. And then on Friday, Scott Carson's show was all about doing things differently. He's saying all these note investors are out there going and networking and going to all these different conventions, yet they don't have time to implement. They don't have time to call the banks. They don't have time to make the deals because they're so busy doing other things. So Colletta Street's here and is excited to talk about what we are doing differently than a lot of the other note investors. First thing, we are making bids. Our new focus for 2018 is to make as many appropriate and smart bids, not just throwing bids out there, but doing quick looking and making sure it meets our criteria, a few of our criteria, and then throwing out bids and going from there. So these are some of the bids that we are making this week in the Carolinas. And then not only are we making bids, but our bids are getting accepted, which is really exciting that they're being accepted at the prices that we're willing to pay. And so we put in 4 bids a couple weeks ago, and 3 of them got accepted. This is 2 of them. So one was in Massachusetts and one's in Orlando. And so now we're going to go about doing all our due diligence, getting the O&E report, having a realtor drive by, and that kind of stuff. So now we are in the process of moving forward with these accepted bids. But that's not all that Colletta Street is doing that's different than other people. We are also starting to call the banks. We had to put it off for a week due to people not being in the office, meaning Colletta Street not being in the office the last couple of weeks. One of our partners with a different company we've all joined forces together to work together. He was at IMN this week, and then Chris was out of touch for a week or so we don't know where he is, but he's safe. So that's exciting. But so we want to practice doing our going through what we're going to say and really practicing so that when we do call the banks, we're confident and we know what we're saying. So next week, our goal is we'll all be home at phones, able to talk to each other and practice what we're going to say, and one of us be the bank and one of us be calling. So that's what we're really going to be doing next week, is doing our practicing our script, and then the following week we're going to start dialing for dollars. So that's what Colletta Street is doing differently. Something we're also doing differently are these videos. Most note investors aren't doing these videos, and the weekly emails are something very different and that we try to stick with every single week no matter what. So if you are interested in learning more about Colletta Street itself, or you want to joint venture with us or learn more about that and what that entails, please contact us so many different ways. You can contact us on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or you can go to our website, collettastreet.com, or you can call us at 775-525-1222, or email Chris or I at chris@collettastreet.com or katie@collettastreet.com. And also, we highly suggest you go and watch the Note Closers podcast, episode 180. So go check us out on that episode. Happy note hunting and hope to hear from you.